Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 versus 1 on Angoville. The fields of Angoville is where the fighting shall be taking place today as we get ever closer to the Company of Heroes 2 beta. I hope you pre-ordered, otherwise you won't be getting in for a bit or a while longer. We shall be watching WmdSandland again. Yes, things are a bit drying up lately. I do apologize, so there will probably be a few more repeats of viewers than a bit more than what I might be comfortable with. But we shall be playing Sandland, playing for the Americans, taking on the fight for the 1st Infantry Division. Going up against him shall be or something like that. We do know, or I do know, his name is actually SturmTigerost, a 2 versus 2 player normally, but apparently he's playing a bit of 1 versus 1 today. Fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Berlichingen, from largely out of, I believe it was Romanian or Hungarian ethnic Germans. But we are seeing a 3 pioneer start. That's a pretty interesting move. And second unit following up is first unit from the Wehrmacht quarters is a back. So definitely SturmTigerost is storming somewhere else. And also note actually from Sandland, just a 1 engineer start. I mean, this is quite different in how they're playing. SturmTigerost is hoping to seize as much territory as possible, whereas Sandland is actually quickly moving towards getting as early an infantry advantage as possible. And in that sense, I mean, he will have it. On the other hand, of course, he will be slightly delayed, but of course there's a slight thing with the American riflemen, they do capture territory faster than any other unit in the early game. So of course that can be an advantage for Sandland, plus the firepower, but certainly SturmTigerost is quickly rushing for as much fuel as humanly possible. At the same time, the bike is sort of trying to give an idea, and of course I imagine SturmTigerost is not entirely sure of what's going on here. Was ist das? Wo sind die Amerikaner, Heinz? Ich weiß nicht. Perhaps out watching baseball. Yes, but not in France, not in Normandy, not right now. Oh, I see. Anyways, we do see Sandland pushing up pretty hard on the right flank, rifle going in there, popping a few pioneers. Or at least soon will. His first infantry out there for the Wehrmacht, the Volksgrenadier Squad, the ever-reliable, the ever-trusted Volksgrenadier Squad. That's because you ask most players. Certainly can be quite useful, and we do see 2 of Sandland's rifle squads right here. Sandland, as you might notice, is in fact rather low in territory compared currently to SturmTigerost and the 17th. Although we do now see a Jeep, and of course the question is how will Sandland sort this out, and again, that's a bit what happens when this sort of build is going up, and he's obviously intending to use the rifleman to inflict a lot of early damage on SturmTiger, but at the same time SturmTiger is a bit hard to find currently. He's a bit, how shall we say, not quite setting up a front. He's not quite there, not quite solid. Too many units sneaking about all over the place, which is actually making it a bit difficult for Sandland to finding them and destroying them currently. But there we go, we could see the back going down. It's going to get caught here, but the right back pushes through. We do see Volksgrenadiers moving up. Jeep continues the hunt. Jeep is actually a bit careful rather than taking up position there. We do see Sandland going to cut off as much resources from SturmTigerost. We do see the back still moving about there, and we do see the rifle coming out of fire from the MG mounted on the side car. Engineers moving up to quickly repair the Jeep. Nicely done there. Volksgrenadiers moving up. Territory soon cut off there. Sandland will need to stop capturing soon, and there we go. Pulling back, though not forwards. He could have for some then also pulls up, but no. We are seeing an additional squad of Volksgrenadiers adding in. At the same time, fighting going on here. Pioneers ended up losing the fight to the Engineers. Pioneers getting pushed off there as well. Sandland sending in the Engineers to take territory. SturmTigerost advancing with his Volksgrenadier bike combination, having quite a bit of mobile firepower, and of course the bike can help spot any sort of flanking attempts, but at the same time, we do see that Sandland is now beginning hiccups, curse you. But he is beginning to take away a bunch of territory from SturmTigerost and the 17th SS. But we also see that SturmTigerost is actually doing some damage, and he's not going to be stopped right there, although he might lose that fuel point for at least a brief while. But no, we do see the Engineers actually end up getting pushed away. So he needs to connect, and of course that can be much more swiftly done. MG42 now popping out for SturmTigerost. He is not taking up as of yet, so we might be seeing another MG perhaps, another Volksgrenadier squad, or a sniper. All depends on where SturmTigerost takes his forces in terms of composition. Does he want to play further aggressive, or does he want to try and hold all of that territory? Of course, he's trying to capture, which is currently a bit his problem, as Sandland is now making good headway with the increased infantry count he has. Though at the same time, of course, he's slowly beginning to lose momentum, as now SturmTigerost is able to solidify things and push them back. And we are seeing some pioneers being equipped with flamethrowers, although they're also getting caught by the Jeep out in the open. Fighting largely going on here. We see another pioneer squad getting flanked by a rifle squad. We could see SturmTigerost actually loose, and there we go. The Jeep cut it, the last pioneer down, and we do see a nice deep flank going in. It's SandLand going to try and hit them from the far away, but already looks like SturmTigerost is expecting something rotten and is quickly shifting over the MG42 to cover another flank. And no, SandLand is not moving. He's actually just waiting for the push, and then he's going to basically cut down any units that might be retreating, possibly. I'm not entirely sure, actually. But Browning automatics pop up, increasing firepower vastly, and there we go. The MG42 is going to get pushed away, and we could see, there we go, going to retreat all past it, running the gauntlet. Will SandLand's rifle be able to finish off an entire squad? No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like they will be able to escape. Bit of a shame right there for SandLand. It was a nice push, and he was not quite able to fully spring the trap, or at least get off to the payoff part of it, which is actually cutting down as many units retreating as possible, which I would imagine is something SandLand will be kicking himself a bit over. But he was able nonetheless to push off SturmTigerost and possibly take as much territory as possible. Of course, he needs to cut off the fuel again, which would definitely hurt him. At the same time, we are seeing control going off in this area. SandLand could consider mining down a bit to make it a bit harder for SturmTigerost to advance, and he actually lost a pioneer squad. Another MG42 on the way, teching going on the way. In fact, we are seeing SturmTigerost really pushing his advantage. He's, of course, seeing the Browning automatics, so SturmTigerost knows he's not going to be seeing anything that could counter vehicles right away. Thus, he's going straight for the third tier. He's going for the Sturm Armory.
Yes, sir.
So bold play going on there. Bold play. And there we go. Mines going up here. Could be several mines, in fact. Really mining off this gap. Rifle squad pushed away. And now we do see a fresh advantage from the Wehrmacht. The MG42 covering up pretty quickly. But also mines have already been laid down by SandLand. Oh, Rifleman goes down, and the pioneers could in fact go quickly down if SandLand was to focus them down. We do see the fuel point rendered neutral. But the question is if it wouldn't have been worth it more to get the pioneers. Oh well. Another rifle squad has arrived for SandLand, so he's in fact going to be very vulnerable now, since he will definitely not put any resources towards protection from any sort of vehicle assault. And there we go! Mine goes off, destroying the bike and killing a Volkswagen, is going to ultimately rendering it very vulnerable. Very nice, and we could see a pioneer squad go down. Very close, very close. Rifle not pushing. Oh, bit of a missed opportunity right there to deliver another blow to SturmTigerost. Pushing going up here. Pioneers trying to mine, but they are stopped in their attempt. And the position is a bit perilous for SturmTigerost. On the other hand, SandLand needs to be careful with these rifles. They are very low on health, and they are somewhat strong in number, so that will mean each man will actually have very little health, and they could very quickly go down, which would actually be a bit of a problem for SandLand. So he definitely needs to think this one out before he pulls off an attack. Of course, this would also be a nice spot to mine, but looks like flamethrowers being equipped. We are going to be seeing another deep flank. Volkswagen is bounding back and forth. We're seeing MP4 just being equipped for some of them, increasing the firepower a bit. Rifle squad stopped on the assault. And looks like, there we go, they are pushing in. And we also see some easy targets here and there. MG42, oh, getting assaulted by the flamethrowers. Another rifle squad moves up there. Oh dear, this could actually end up badly. We could see the MG42 go down for SturmTiger. At the same time, rifle pushing up there. Another Volkswagen squad getting pushed away. Nice push going on there from SandLand. And we see a Volkswagen squad here which could get cut down. So close, and an MG42, that would be devastating. No. Oh, that was unfathomably fortunate right there, if not downright lucky. I mean, 2 units, very low in health, and they got away from BARs. I mean, Christ, that could have ended up very differently, and we could have easily have ended up with SturmTiger very much lacking in infantry and MGs all of a sudden. In which case, that armoured car right here would have a much greater uphill fight. I mean, still, they are low men. They will cost some resource to reinforce, but it's not the same as losing them fully. Volkswagen the MP4 is doing what they can, but they are so low in health, they can't really add much to the fight. And MG42 being rushed forward to just try and do something. And there we go, though, the first heavy armoured car is out. SandLand losing territory now over here again, and he's not quite having any of this connected. He's actually again now in a bit of trouble, as now we do see the armoured car arriving for SturmTigerost, and we again realise that SandLand is a bit vulnerable to it. So suppressive fire from the riflemen, but they do take out a punishing amount of casualty. And again, very close to losing a full squad there for SturmTigerost. But Sandland doesn't quite deliver the killing blow. Now, of course, question becomes what will be next for Sandland? How shall his response be? And there we go. Mine goes off, heavily wounding a pioneer squad. And suppressing even. Armored car going straight into the base of Sandland. We could in fact see him losing a squad, and he does. Oh dear. That's just not fortunate. So of course the question becomes, how will Sandland respond to this? He's got no doctrine, and he's waiting for sticky bombs to deal with this, which is definitely not a good sort of situation to be in. He lost an engineer squad now. Not looking good for Sandland. Not looking good. It actually looks like he had 5 squads of riflemen. My god, that might have been a bit over the top, in fact. So he was actually trying to sort of get an infantry advantage against SturmTiger, but that might actually left him very vulnerable to the armored car, and it's a bit surprising that Sandland seems not to factor that into things, and actually went for the 5th rifleman then. Huh. But now we do see sticky bombs ready, we do see some Pioneer. Oh, Pioneer could go down to the Jeep. The Jeep continuing to kill, and there we go. 4 kills. MD4 taking up position there, supporting the armored car, keeping the rifleman with the sticky bombs away. Another MG42 moving up. And looks like another Pioneer squad going to get hunted down by the Jeep. And run off. Armored car moving again. Another attempt at sticky bombs from Sandland perhaps. And we are seeing a tank depot going up. Tank depot. Of course he does have the fuel here, but he doesn't quite have much fuel to really get anything out of it right away. And there we go though. He might be able to capture it. He might get a sticky bomb off. Yes, there we go. And that, oh, it doesn't get a damaged engine. It does not get a damaged engine. At the same time, we see the Jeep moving about in the base of Sandland. He does not try to finish off the Pioneer squad. That's actually a bit of a miss from Sandland, I think. At the same time, SturmTigerost making a good advance up the west part of the map. Sandland and the 1st Infantry are under pressure. No doctrine from here yet. Of course, we've seen Blitzkrieg from SturmTigerost, but... And there we go, we're actually seeing stormtroopers now popping out. Lots of mines there. Looks like he might be actually trying to lure the armored car into the mine, but oh, just briefly does not quite follow it. Bit unfortunate, bit unfortunate. Although we do now see a larger push going in there from Sandland. Might hope to entrap it and knock it out, and we could... Ooh, just needs manpower now to get that tank destroyer. At the same time, we do see stormtroopers with a Panzergrenadier moving in, which of course will display the doctrine of choice for SturmTigerost. There we go, moving in. He's hoping to cut off the armored car, knock it out. But will he be able to do so? Will he be able to, at the same time the stormtroopers now fighting versus the riflemen? One squad will have to deal with it. The other squad moving up here, another squad needs to push in from the north. There we go. From here fighting, although slowly losing to the stormtroopers. Then again, the stormtroopers out in the open. They will be much easier targets. Note already down to half health. And there we go. Armored car went down. Veterans won for the rifleman squad in question. Another rifleman squad proceeds to retreat. Although, of course, there's still the stormtroopers. The Jeep needs to be a bit careful. And there we go. They actually retreat. The Jeep could, in fact, try and move in and get a few kills, which might actually give it Veterans won. At the same time, the right-hand side is completely falling out to the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division. Götz von Berlichingen. And there we go. Veterans won for the Jeep, which will actually increase its speed and make it that much more, a bit more nasty. And there we go. Tank depots up. Perhaps Sandland's actually going for a Sherman. That would actually be a nice move. No, never mind then. What is he going for? What is he going for? Kampfkraft Center going up for SturmTiger. He could definitely need the veterans for the infantry. MD42 set up here. So a rather fortified front right here. And the center on the other hand, I mean, a push here from Sandland could actually do a lot of damage. And of course, a Sherman rolling up here could, in fact, cause this entire place to crumble. And we are seeing armor doctrine up for Sandland. Interesting, interesting. At the same time, we do see a Sturmgeschütz rolling out for SturmTigerost, and of course the 17th SS did actually have Stug 4s. Most divisions were in fact equipped with the Stug 3, since that was obviously the more numerous. It was actually much fewer divisions which actually had the Stug 4. Here we go, M4 Sherman, upgrading quickly with the 50 caliber. Stormtroopers lying in wait. Volksgrenadiers nearby, including some perhaps not at full peak.
We are losing a munitions sector.
Never mind then. And there goes Sherman. Oh, right in the front of the Stug. That is not going. There we go. Stormtroopers pop their ambush. The Sherman did not have the best of starts and is quickly going to get run off. So a bit unfortunate right there for Sandland. His plan did not quite work out the way he had intended.
On your feet,
Rifleman sneak about there.
We have territory cut off.
Keep there. Sherman getting repaired. A bit of quiet. Sandland definitely has been forced back a bit. Although, pioneers were caught laying down mines, and some of them were cut down. Of course, now Sandland will be taking a slightly different path, so he does not run into the mine. Of course, he could consider a grenade to sort of lob into the MG building, but instead we do see a position up here from the building to cover the nearby area. Stormtroopers, Volksgrenadiers moving in. Pioneer went down, another rifleman squad moving up. Geballte Ladung on the riflemen. They almost get out, but 3 are caught in the blast, and 3 others are heavily wounded. Covered in shrapnel and their friends, and looks like a jeep went down. Finally, a tragic loss for the 1st Infantry Division.
Germans are pounding our base.
Lost to the evil Krauts. Sherman continues to be repaired. Of course, a mortar right here could perhaps work out a bit for Sandland to try and clear out the MG positions, but that would of course require him to get a weapons support center. So of course there's that slight detail that would end up draining him a lot of resources just to get that one thing. Another Stug now rolling out for SturmTigerost. No real movement down here from Sandland, not even a single unit being detailed. He seems to be caught up here. And of course another thing he could consider of course would be to upgun the Sherman, so it actually had an advantage against Stug. Stormtroopers rushing a bit forwards and getting cut down a bit. Barracks now the target of choice for the Germans. Dual Panzergrenadiers and the Stormtroopers. Ooh, very close to going down there. The 50 caliber really doing a lot of damage, and I mean, it can actually do quite a bit of damage to infantry. Perhaps not quite so well known though. And Stug here not doing too well towards the Sherman because it's focusing down this. And there we go. Rifleman squad are going to flank about. Volksgrenadier squad holding up the house, denying it to the Americans to use. And a 3rd Sturmgeschütz. Note also observation post on the munitions right there. Oh dear, he's forgotten about the mine and hits it. But looks like he might be going for the cutoff point, trying to starve SturmTigerost of resource, of course. Possibly also force away some of the units from here to move towards here.
We're down to 300.
And we do see a full assault detachment going in from SturmTigerost right there. 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers. Rather going to quickly pop into the house. And we do see Blitzkrieg assault, of course. It will be easily cancelled by just getting out of the house. But no, Sandland does not react fast enough. Most of the units actually take quite a bit of damage. 3 men are down, but they are retreating through the other door. So that was definitely quite interesting. The barracks still up, but now we do see a tank destroyer, but there's a problem. There are 3 Stugs and only 2 pieces of American armor. They are definitely outnumbered. That's never good odds for the Americans. They generally tend to need greater numbers than the Germans. They are not as such superior, in particular when the Stugs can then sort of just, well, maneuver about, target the other one, while the one that can't handle it is, you know, just a distraction. So this is not quite working out very well for Sandland. He needed at least 1 more tank destroyer here, but then again, he might not have been able to keep it up. And looks like the M10 will be focused down. Oh, and the Stug did not go down either. Flamethrowers, though, clearing out one of the MGs. And the Sherman out of control. We do see both MGs are lost, but both Stugs are also there. Although we do now see them trying to get away. But that was definitely not a good engagement for Sandland, and looks like he might in fact be going for a Pershing. Since he's going for the left-hand side of the doctrine. Volksgrenadier is advancing straight on Rifleman. We're seeing another Blitzkrieg assault. Rifleman dodging it while the other squad continues to pour fire into the advancing German infantry. Stuke's counter-attack. So pops. Ow, sticky bomb nonetheless goes off on the Stuke and might finish it off. Suppressive fire on the Volkskriegs right there, and there we go. Veterans, you want for another rifle squad. We could see the Volkskriegs completely get wiped out. Oh no, again they somehow managed to get away. Does not Sandland's fight this. Stormtroopers trying to move up here, encounter more of Sandland's mines. And now we do see Sandland instead checking to the motor pool. Let's return to SturmTigerost. Rather than getting blasted, although he does manage to grab one of his MGs. In fact, we do see that SturmTigerost is actually quite low in infantry. He's got no MGs, he's got one Pioneer squad, and his two Volkskriegs squads have definitely seen better days. Although he does have two Stukes, veterans in two, which does mean, they can present quite a threat now to the infantry, and they will be providing the MG fire. I don't know, that just seems like poor sportsmanship. I don't know. He's trying to imply that Sandland is playing poor or what? I don't like it. It just seems an odd thing to say.
We're losing territory.
Well. Still. We'll of course have to see how SturmTigerost handles it. Still no veterancy for the infantry, by the way. And we're seeing Blitzkrieg now being chosen, ignoring the Tiger tank. Stuke's rolling back. A third one on the way. Barracks getting repaired. Sandland moving out to take as much territory as possible. MG taking up position there to hold back advancing Krauts. While the Sturmgeschütz of the Third Reich advances upon the Americans. More mines going down for Sandland, although they do get spotted this time around. They need to get out of there very quickly. The mine does not get finished. So making progress up north, I imagine we will be seeing anti-tank guns to try and deal with the Stukes. And of course, anti-tank guns are quite effective, in particular with some armor-piercing rounds. They can very quickly take down the Stuke. Another assault going in from the Volkskriegs is more grenades going to be delivered and flung right at the rifleman.
Our supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply. We are losing territory.
It looks like he might be trying to make a run for Sandland space, since he's advancing the Stukes pretty aggressively up the west flank.
Pioneers reporting victory point is ours.
And there we go, the motor pool is flashing, but still no anti-tank and still nothing to really help Sandland against vehicles. Volkskriegs doing what they can against the flamethrower crew in there. Stormtroopers moving up as well. Riflemen might be trying to flank about and cut off the Volkskriegs' retreat path before moving in for the kill, hoping to perhaps completely wipe out a squad for SturmTigerost. And there we go, retreating now. Very low on health, very low on numbers. He could perhaps pull it off now. No, once more, barely gets away in the nick of time. Stuke's actually moving back. Anti-tank are now ready for Sandland, at least the first one. I imagine there will be more, and it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. So, current situation is a bit messy. Sandland is making some progress. He's certainly done some damage to SturmTigerost, but he's also been taking quite a bit of damage, and it basically came down to this Sturm army rush, which really threw him off his tracks. He went for a very, very heavy infantry start with BARs, and I'm a bit surprised again that he did not quite perhaps expect to be hit with armored cars and then Stukes. So, in that sense, he's left himself in a bit of a bind, and then going for the armor doctrine as well, when he perhaps might have wanted something a bit more working with otherwise, perhaps some off-map combat groups and ranges might have benefited him more, perhaps some infantry doctrine, of course, with off-map artillery might have benefited him more, or airborne for that matter. Then he could just have popped in the anti-tank guns from above, not bother with the motor pool and spending resources on that. That's definitely some possibilities as well. Of course, SturmTigerost is definitely having some problems. Sandland using his infantry very aggressively, certainly causing some huge casualties on SturmTigerost. And he's not having it easy. He's several times his Volkskriegs squads are very, very close to death, and he's already lost both of his machine guns, numerous pioneers, an armored car, and a Stuke. So it's not like it's a walk in the park for SturmTigerost either. Of course, he's got Blitzkrieg, and he's clearly planning on blitzing with the Blitzkrieg bit, the Chosen. But Sandland needs... how should one put it? He needs to, well, basically deal with the anti-tank guns. He needs to, well, not deal with the anti-tank guns. He needs more of them, and he needs to wreck the assault guns. That's rather what I was going for. My pardons. But he needs those Stooks out of the way. They are definitely a huge problem. They're armoured, and with the MGs on top, they can actually deal reasonably well with Sandland's infantry, in particular supported with some few Pulse Grenadiers or Stormtroopers. So Sandland needs them out of the way. He needs anti-tank guns for that, and perhaps some Sherman or some tank destroyers on top just to sort of help things out. Mines could also be considered right there, and perhaps also Pershing. For SturmTigerost, he needs to be a bit more aggressive. He needs to conserve his infantry, work a bit better with the assault guns, and he needs to, well, basically deliver final blow to Sandland if you can somehow land that. But again, Sandland is not making it easy. But let us return to the fight. Points here are falling. Sandland working hard to regain victory. Points is actually the one currently lowest. Right hand side though quickly falling to the first infantry. Stooks are ready, mynheer, and a fourth one running out. Looks like he is going for a bit of a Stook spam. Stormtroopers actually snuck into the American base, and looks like he's making a push. Nope, never mind. There's still Stormtroopers there. There's an anti-tank gun there. Sandland getting a bit nervous, pulling it back. A replacement MG-42 for all the ones lost. Observation post here going to get dealt with. Stormtroopers just waiting here. Might be part of a larger assault. And again, 4 assault guns, veterans who could definitely pull off quite a bit of damage. Sandland will definitely need more than one anti-tank on that matter. Some mines here could also work off, but of course he's not quite aware where the punch is going. Although, I mean, he's seen all the Stooks, I must imagine, at least 3 of them, so he must figure that the assault is going to happen up this angle. And there we go. A full Sturmgeschütz assault. 4 of them, veterans 2, machine guns galore, and there we go, the assault pushing in, the Stormtroopers moving up. Might try to get off a button grenade on the rifleman first. Anti-tank gun needs to get up. And there we go, Panzerx, he's going for the tank depot. Anti-tank guns, 2 of them now, being rushed forward to try and deal with the Stooks. They need to be covered just by riflemen, just in case the Stooks try to move past them. And there we go, tank depots down, Stook getting hit. First shot seems to have bounced off. Second shot bouncing off as well, not having quite a bit of luck there with his anti-tank guns, the 57mm. Pretty much just British design, called something else. That is the 6-pounder gun. And looks like Sandland's supply yard now is in danger of getting cleared out by the Stormtroopers. Stooks advancing against Sandland, needs his anti-tank guns a bit further up, and there we go, Stooks advancing. Shot finally penetrates, and there we go, the Stooks are going straight for the anti-tank guns. Blitzkrieg, we need armor-piercing rounds now on the anti-tank guns. Volsker is charging forwards, firing madly, including the Stormtroopers as well. Troops right here getting suppressed. Anti-tank guns doing what they can, but they are getting overwhelmed. Oh, the veterans are free as well now. Veterans are free. Oh, anti-tank gun failed to penetrate. Oh dear. Carnage continues up north. Blitzkrieg grenades going in. SturmTigerost has set in for the full assault. 17th SS are going completely nuts. Sticky bombs still being thrown. Damaged engines left and right. Gunners killed, but the Stooks are still fighting. And a rifleman squad is killed up north. The casualties are immense. And now Sandland space is looking rather in danger of getting utterly wrecked. And a rifle squad moving up there. He could try and recruit this anti-tank and basically just firing all the Stooks from the rear. Engineers getting cut down. Looks like some Volkers took some heavy damage right there, but they are still fighting. Running around the building, trying to avoid the full might of the German forces. Sticky bomb on the Stook. Oh dear, more buildings are lost for Sandland. The motor pool is gone, anti-tank gun recruit. And Stook is finally out of control. Now full infantry assault on the remaining anti-tank gun. Not looking good, right from here, suppressed by the MG-42. Anti-tank crew, in fact, pen flamethrower moving up there on the engineers. Well, the engineers are flanking the MD-42. Getting a bit messy there, getting a bit messy. For me, more particularly. Anti-tank gun, though, continues to fire away. Sticky bombs again. Damaged engine. MD-42 went down again for SturmTigerost. No, looks like it's making a run for it and succeeds. Although Volkskriegsguard squad has actually finally fallen for him. Down to 2 infantry squads and MG-42 and some flamethrower engineers. Although SturmTigerost has taken heavy and intense casualties on this assault as well. 2 of his Dukes are gone, lots of his infantry is dead. But he's still in the fight, and so is Sandland. But Sandland is definitely worse off in this case. 2 veterans, 2 rifle squads moving up, trying to get off the sticky bombs, I imagine. And might trying to crew the anti-tank guns to turn against the Germans. Destroyed engine on the Stuke. MG-42 firing away at the flank, not going to do much. Pioneers moving in. Anti-tank gun needs to turn. But oh, there we go. Sticky bomb again. And there we go. A fourth Stuke, actually, considering the others lost. But veterancy free for that rifle squad in particular. Losses have been heavy on both sides, though SturmTigerost is very close to being able to call in a Tiger if he so desires, and that's never going to be a problem. But we also see at the same time a Pershing arriving. Mine went off there, damaging the engine of the assault gun. Anti-tank guns recruit, but there's not much left of Sandland's base. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. And more Stukes on the way. Immer mehr Sturmgeschütz. And quickly repairing the anti-tank guns so they're not completely rubbish. Pioneer squad went down, ensuring the Stuke cannot be repaired at least immediately. Pershing, they're getting pushed away. Stormtroopers moving up with the Panzerschrecks, the Rakettenpanzerbüchse, and they are quickly getting slaughtered though by high explosive rounds. And we could see the Tiger any moment now, and that's going to be a veterancy-free Tiger, which is actually going to be a bit of a problem for the Pershing at the current moment, since it's got no veterancy. There we go, the Tiger. Also note an observation post there, that's interesting. And the Stuke rolling forwards. Pershing a bit on his own, needs support from the anti-tank guns. And there we go, the Tiger arrives. Panzerkampfwagen 6. German infantry moving in against the Pershing, gets off a Panzerfaust, Panzerschrecks fly as well. Only 1 hit though. Infantry is quick to move up. The anti-tank guns though seem a bit off. Not moving up to support the Pershing. The Pershing cannot fight on its own. Oh, mine goes off, damaging the engine and killing several Volksgrenadiers. Very nice, very nice. While moving up, could get a veteran's free sticky bomb off on the Stuke, which would be nice. But again, the anti-tank guns need to be supporting the Pershing. And there we go. Tiger is up at the front as well. Let's go look at Sandland. Pershing advancing, but that Pershing needs to get away. And there we go. Sandland is finally moving the anti-tank guns a bit late. And Blitzkrieg goes in. Blitzkrieg. Pershing is in severe problems. Field repairs go up. And the anti-tank is not quite pointing in the right direction. Oh dear. And field repairs has also ensured that there will be no armor-piercing rounds for the anti-tank guns. Oh no. That's definitely an absolute shame, as that definitely means there won't be much to touch the tanks. Or at least cause a huge threat. And there we go. 1 anti-tank gun crew utterly murdered, evaporated, and what not. Looks like the same fate will fall upon the other anti-tank gun crew. Absolutely devastating, absolutely nasty. And there we go. The Tiger pretty much just massacres them. Definitely not looking good for Sandland. And now we see, of all the things, a weapon support center. I'm a bit unsure why that all of a sudden.
Point is ours. What say we lock it down?
Strikes me as quite odd. Anti-tank gun recruit again. Fighting for the resources over here. Looks like he's definitely going to go for another Pershing. Tiger coming under fire. Armor-piercing rounds again could and should be employed. They do a lot of damage and they have a much higher chance of penetrating. Sandland does not seem too keen on that. Ooh, nice hit there. Tiger almost down to half health. And Volsker is pushing up at the rifle, and we do see an assault going in at the veteran field rifle. Definitely will be the one chance that Volsker has had of getting some sort of advantage. And there we go, the MG42 sets up and quickly opens up on the Volskers. They do bound further a bit away, but there we go. One man dead. Light cover provides a bit of protection against suppression, but ultimately it's not enough. Tiger moves in. Volskers continue to take heavy punishing losses. And the Blitzkrieg assault is actually continually up. Riflemen, though, seem to be dodging it. Tiger getting hunted down by what remains of Sandland's forces. The Volskers continue to be... They could actually go down. Oh, there we go. Blitzkrieg grenade stuns the entire squad, saving the two remaining Volksgrenadiers from SturmTigerost's volley. Stormtroopers are now sneaking in to Sandland's base. Bunkers going up. Those are likely to be repair bunkers. Yes, indeed. So he can keep his tanks, his panzers in tip-top shape. And there we go. The Stormtroopers are attacking the weapon support center, though nothing is actually appearing. There we go. Stormtroopers quickly getting cut down. Veteran shield rifle making a run for it. And there we go. Pershing pops up as well. Down to two Stormtroopers. We could see them go down. Yes! Stormtroopers wiped out. Which actually means that SturmTigerost is very low in infantry. He's down to the Tiger and the Stooks. Sandland continues to fight. He continues to take away victory points and continues to snuff out the lives of SturmTigerost's men.
We have a threat to our victory point.
Also seems like an MG42 might have been ensconced within this position. Yes, indeed. We can spot him through the window. A supply out again for Sandland. Resources are being taken. And Allied War Machine now out for Sandland. Could work out, could definitely help him ensure he doesn't have to spend manpower constantly when he loses a Pershing, and he will likely lose more at this state of the fight. Another Stroog rolls up. SturmTigerost preparing for another armored assault. This time with slightly better odds, or even better odds in fact. Not his previous odds were poor.
Fly yard is open for business. Looks like we fight today.
But there we go, supply yard. And there we go, armored assault going in from SturmTigerost. Anti-tank moving away.
Germans are seizing territory.
And he's actually getting an upgrade. Interesting, interesting. Though I have no idea why. Sticky bomb. Anti-tank and crew quickly dealt with. Sandland trying to save the Pershing. And there we go. We do see the upgrade cancelled. Not entirely sure what it is. Sandland is trying right here. And there we go. Weapon support center is lost. So is the triage center. Sandland's opportunities are definitely getting less and less bright. Though he's still working on the victory point. Another Stook. Oh dear, they're interesting enough. No mines right there. But Sandland seems to be shifting towards just playing a game of cat and mouse with SturmTigerost. Oh, they're lost an engineer squad. Of course, there's still the MG42 there, which Sandland does not know about, but he's actually cutting off the resources. And another observation post going up for SturmTigerost. Points over here continue to fall. The MG42 realizing he can't do much, so he's just taking points. And Titanic are going to get wrecked. Oh dear, oh dear.
Rifle squad has the objective.
There we go. Strategic point secured. And a full column spearheaded by a Tiger. Sandland once more on the run. Again, he's playing a bit of a game with SturmTigerost. Oh, the Tiger gets drawn into a mine. Cheeky, cheeky. And barracks up for Sandland. Pershing repaired. Supply it up again. Which of course he needs. He clearly is intending something with a motor pool or a tank depot, but what? Or what is it? Ah, that could have been why I actually went for the weapon support center, because he needed that for the supply out. Of course, stupid me. Very, very stupid me. Another observation post spotted. But Sandland has clearly not given up. He's clearly fighting on to the bitter end. And we could see a full-scale squad active for SturmTigerost, but no, again, Blitzkrieg assault, doing its best to try and neutralize the rifle. The rifle are very close. They could see the full-scale going down. And there we go. Finally, the last infantry squad of SturmTigerost is actually lost. He's down to pioneers, which actually means if he can hold them at bay and kill them, and then get that victory point, he might actually be able to win the game through that. And there we go. Tank depot going up. Sandland going for the tank depot. Sandland the unstoppable. Sandland the Dane. Da-da. Tiger, though, getting repaired. And we are seeing a push going out from SturmTigerost. Perhaps hoping to deliver the final blow. He's actually worried that Sandland might have something here. So that's actually why he's been so apparently so conservative. He's apparently thinking he needs that much to take out the remnants of Sandland. Which actually ought to be saying something about Sandland. No, we see motor pool instead. But now it might be too late. And there we go, the motor pool is spotted.
Infantry squad lost. Germans are seizing territory from us.
And this rather looks like GG. The Pershing simply can't touch this, or touch that. Sticky bomb on the veterans 3 Stook. Of course, the Pershing was surprisingly inactive throughout most of the fight, remains of the fight. Might just speed this up. Not much really to see. Blitzkrieg, sticky bombs. No, he leaves Sandland space. And the Pershing going to get hunted down once he spotted it.
Pershing lost to enemy action.
And Pershing lost. GG from Sandland. And game over. Definitely a bit one-sided in the end, but nonetheless interesting to see Sandland continue to find. Also interesting to see, you know, how worried that Tiger actually was about him, because again, a SturmTiger, because again, he needed apparently to gather that many assault guns plus a Tiger before he dared to venture into the lair of the Sandland. So I mean, that of course is interesting. But overall, the problem basically for Sandland was, I'm not entirely sure what exactly led to it, but basically it was the mistake again of getting too many riflemen with BARs. I mean, he set himself up to be very much countered by a tier 3 rush, and that was basically what happened. Sandland did his best to sort of try and, you know, save himself, but a few mistakes here and there, and I'm not entirely convinced the doctrine of choice helped him. Again, airborne or infantry would probably have provided him with a better solution. In particular, again, it would not have required him to constantly try and rebuild up his entire infrastructure, when he could perhaps just, you know, have off-map combat groups try and at least provide him with something. And again, I mean, armored doctrine is a bit more specialized, when you rather think, okay, I could get in some armored punch. And at that stage, I think it was actually premature for Sandland to go for armor. And again, I mean, infantry tends to be the safest choice for Americans. It's the most varied, the most tactically, you know, stable, and strategically for that matter. So that might actually have won him the match. So again, partly that miscalculation with too many riflemen with BARs, but also, you know, the armored doctrine, that rather in the end doomed him. But I mean, it was not that he didn't give a tough fight to SturmTigerost, and he might even have won if not some of those units early on escaped. Not happened again, things could easily have looked very, very different from how they actually proceeded. SturmTiger, of course, was largely well. Of course, there were some things that could have improved, but overall he had a sound strategy, and of course he was able to take advantage of the mistakes that Sandland did commit, but again, there was some luck involved early on. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own or provide some feedback in the comments. Feedback is always appreciated. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.